Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you're so very welcome indeed. Darlings, we have a meet and greet of all meet and greets on the 20th of July, and it's going to be beyond fabulous. Beyond fabulous, my darlings. There's drinks, there's music, there's cake, there's all kinds. There are vendors. When I tell you it's fabulous, and we have an exclusive to my brand, darlings. You're going to live and love, and I am looking for volunteers, because we've got so much in preparation, and you guys have asked so many times in the past. So I'm going to leave the email here for you. It is fdv1.management@gmail.com. You just let me know and we'll get it crack-a-lacking, baby. When I tell you I was shocked and I was speechless to see that Justin Baldoni's 400 million countersuit against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds has been dismissed by the judge. I was speechless. I don't know what else I can tell you. It says here the judge granted motions to dismiss Justin Baldoni's lawsuits against Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, their publicist, and the New York Times. In a major setback for Justin Baldoni, the Ends With Us director stars countersuit against Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist, as well as his lawsuit against the New York Times, has been tossed out by the judge. It's unbelievable. On Monday, 9th of June, Judge Louis J. Liman granted the motion to dismiss the 400 million lawsuit filed by Baldoni and the Wayfarer parties against Lively and Reynolds, which alleged extortion and defamation, as well as 250 million defamation lawsuit against the Times. The judge noted, though, that Baldoni's legal team can still amend the claims for breach of implied covenant and tortious interference with the contract if they choose to, with a deadline of June 23rd. The Wayfarer parties have not alleged that Lively is responsible for any statements other than the statements in her CRD complaint, which are privileged. Judge Liman wrote in the opinion an order filing viewed by People. The Wayfarer parties have alleged that Reynolds and publicist Leslie Sloan made additional statements accusing Baldoni of sexual misconduct, and that the Times made additional statements accusing the Wayfarer parties of engaging in a smear campaign. But the Wayfarer parties have not alleged that Reynolds, Sloan, or the Times would have seriously doubted these statements were true based on the information available to them, as is required for them to be liable for defamation under applicable law. The judge added, the Wayfarer parties' additional claims also fail. Accordingly, the amended complaint must be dismissed in its entirety. Lively's lawyers, Ezra Hudson and Mike Gottlieb, called the decision a total victory and a complete vindication for the actress and others whom Justin Baldoni and the Wayfarer parties dragged into this retaliatory lawsuit, including Ryan Reynolds, Leslie Sloan, and the New York Times. As we have said from day one, the 400 million lawsuit was a sham, and the court saw right through it, they say in a statement, adding that we look forward to the next round, which is seeking attorneys' fees, treble damages and punitive damages from Wayfarer parties who they say perpetrated this abusive litigation. My God, I am shocked. I am speechless. Well, let's move on, because when this was brought to me, immediately I said they go to the judge, and here we have it from Without a Crystal Ball. Blake Lively's May 2025 launch date with Salma Hayek. Salma Hayek's husband owns CAA, who reps Doug Liman, Judge Liman's brother.
Wow.
6 degrees of separation. Hold on. Salma Hayek's husband owns CAA. And we had Blake Lively having lunch with Salma Hayek. And we also find out that CAA also represents Doug Liman. And here we have, since 2003, Pinot has been the president of Group Artemis, which owns Kering majority shareholder, Wine Chateau Ladure, Claude de Tade Champagne, Auction House Christie's, New Magazines L'Opinion, Fashion Browns Giambattista Valli. In 2019, Pinot celebrated the first Côte de France. I'm just reading. Oh my God, yes. In 2023, at the bottom, it says, through Artemis, Pinot led the acquisition of a majority stake in the talent sports agency, CAA, Creative Arts Agency, for an estimated $7 billion, a deal that shows the ever-growing convergence of fashion and fame, according to New York Times.
Whoa!
Wow, 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 wow. I am speechless. I am absolutely speechless. But you know what? This is what I say. You got to keep up the fight. Keep up with the fight. Don't give in. I don't know what the next move is going to be, but I'm absolutely shocked. I am absolutely shocked. I am absolutely speechless. I had to address it. I just don't know what to say. I guess we'll have to wait and hear from Justin Baldoni's lawyer. Speechless.
That the judge dismissed the defamation claim, but it didn't, overall, it's not what the case is about. I mean, let's remember where we got started here. We got started because Blake Lively filed a CRD complaint, and then, walked over and filed a lawsuit which, accused some very good people of a smear campaign and accused, a terrific young man of sexual harassment, both of which were completely untrue. And that's where the case got started. It's where the case stands today. Those claims that she brought exist. That's where we want our win. From day one, where we wanted our win, in addition to getting damages, but where we wanted our win is to show there was no smear campaign and there's no sexual harassment. And she hasn't proved a thing. As a matter of fact, it's just the opposite. Look at the facts. Look at what's been shown. Look at the receipts. Look at the video. I'm really hoping that she doesn't drop her lawsuit.
Why would she?
Because she's on a false victory tour, and she's afraid of the truth. And the truth is, going to be shown through depositions, which is what's going to be next. I've noticed her deposition. It's set in June. We're going to see if she's going to appear at that deposition or not. And we're going to proceed forward with the case. And we're going to show that there was no sexual harassment. And we're going to show that there was no smear campaign.
Obviously, the defamation was dismissed with prejudice, so you can't refile that. But do you plan to refile any of the other? I think there are 3 other claims that you could refile, correct?
There's actually 4, and the judge was very specific about them. Intentional interference with contract against Blake and Ryan, intentional interference with prospective economic advantage, that exists still. And that's against Blake and Ryan. Negligent interference with a prospective economic advantage, that's against Blake and Ryan, and breach of the implied duty of covenant of good faith and fair dealing. And those are, that's against Blake. And those claims still exist. The judge just wants us to replead them and gave us a roadmap on how to do that.
Well, will you do that?
Of course we'll do that. I mean, for sure. And, as part of doing that also, we're also going to fight her claims, which have existed since the beginning here. And there's been absolutely no indication of any kind that she's prevailing on her claims. As a matter of fact, just the opposite.
You mentioned in June her deposition. What's your strategy for that? What's the key question you want to get her under oath on?
State your name. I want to see if she shows up.
And once she does, what do you do after that?
I'm going to ask her questions under penalty of perjury, and she's going to have to provide evidence, and she's going to have to provide the truth of the stories. And we have all the videotape, we have all the footage, we have, the text messages, and we have emails, and we're going to see how consistent her testimony is with the actual facts of what transpired.
So it sounds like what you are explicitly saying, you don't want everything to go away. You don't want to just say we're done with this. You want to have Justin's name cleared in court, and it's important for you for all this stuff to go forward.
It's not just important for me to have Justin's name cleared in court. It's important for me to have Tag and Jen Abel's names cleared in court. It's important for me to show the truth and to give the clients the real, result that they're looking for, which essentially is what they were accused of, right? There was not sexual harassment here. She wasn't sexually harassed, and there's no smear campaign.
So I'm wondering what Justin's reaction was to the judge's decision.
What was Justin's reaction to it? The same as my reaction to it, which is, it's not fair. It's not right. And the reality is that someone should have a chance to be able to be held accountable. And you should be able to hold media accountable for the truth and veracity or the lack of it of what they show. I think that he's a person who wants to be vindicated. And that's all that he cares about is that he knows who he is. He knows what he's done. He knows what he hasn't done. And he wants the truth to come out. And he wants to do that in the appropriate way. He's not walking around taking victory laps and victory tours and speaking out. He's taking care of his family and taking care of his loved ones. And he's waiting for his day in court where he can speak out and tell the truth.
A lot of people thought that maybe this whole thing was coming to a close. Clearly, it is not. Brian, I'm sure we'll be talking to you as this moves forward. Thank you for being with us.
It's so far from over. Let's just put it that way. So far.
And I'm hurt. And I'm hurt. It's like a punch in the stomach, a punch in the gut, and it hurts. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, my darlings, and I will keep you I'll keep you updated. All of my love. Do you know, I am so upset. I even forgot to tell you what I'm wearing. I'm just wearing a simple t-shirt that a girlfriend made for me. And she crocheted this rose. And this is an old Zara skirt. That's the door. So I gotta go. Bye-bye. So, guys, what do I think about our slippery lime shampoo? Let me show you something. And for the benefit of other shampoo products, I covered them. I had to do this test because I needed to prove a point. And I don't want to bring up any other product or brand. But these are other shampoos that I've had. Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to take them out one by one. Let me put my slippery slime here. I'm going to bring it out one by one. And I'm going to pour it out for you to see. Yeah? Look at the consistency. Look at the consistency. Okay. That is one. Look at the consistency of this one. Okay. Look at the consistency of this. Oh God. Look at the consistency of this. Look at the consistency of slippery slime shampoo by Healthy Hair Studio, created by a trichologist called ENITAN. It's a beast. It won't even. Just look. If you are asking me, Fumi, a slippery lime shampoo Healthy Hair Studio, created by trichologist ENITAN. Is it FDV approved? It is absolutely FDV approved. It is absolutely FDV approved. Go right ahead and use my discount code Fumi and get yours.
The value of the information that we were given. So it's not overwhelming. It was very clearly laid out. It was accessible, even for someone that's not familiar with public relations.
Now I'm leaving, feeling more PR ready. What I thought I knew, I now know more. What I came to do, I've done so much more.
If you are serious about really growing your business or growing your brand, then like this is really this is a must.
And I love the fact that I came away from it feeling and knowing that I now have a clear pathway for the things I want to do next for my business.
I'm literally in awe.
I feel like I can pitch. There's so many platforms that I've wanted to go on, so many podcasts or just things that I thought I can only dream about. But in this retreat and just through the classes and the sessions, I really learned how to actually reach out to those platforms, to those huge platforms.
Know that when it comes to PR, Nina gonna put you together, okay? During our sessions, how she walked us through the playbook and she had us complete tasks. It gave us a sense of clarity.
Nina, you did that. You brought a group of amazing women together and you helped us bond, see our worthiness, and yeah, it was everything I could have dreamed of and more.
Yes, it's really been a unforgettable experience.
This is by far the most impactful few days I've had in a very long time.
Nina, you have no idea how profoundly your journey has impacted my journey.
Don't even think about not signing.